So you can lie on your back, resting on your mat, legs slightly apart. As you relax your feet, your legs, your thighs, your feet can move slightly out, drop there towards the floor. Arms slightly out, palms up. If it's not comfortable with your palms up, it's okay to turn your palms down. Head resting on your mat. Let's say if you have your eyes open, eyes should be looking straight up towards the ceiling. So if you feel that you're tipping your head back, feel free to place a folded towel on the mat under your head. And now here at the beginning, just focus on your breath. Breathing deep and slow. Full yogic breath to begin with. So expanding your abdominals as you inhale. Gently pulling your abdominals in as you exhale. Next time you inhale, you can expand your abdominals, then expand your ribcage, lifting your chest bone. And as you breathe out, bring your ribcage down, then your abdominals in. And you can use that breath throughout the whole class. In terms of breath, even if you cue the movement, the pulse with the breath, breathe into this, breathe out to that. Do it, it feels natural, it feels comfortable. From there, we're going to mobilize, move and stretch your whole body. Bringing your legs together. And as you breathe in, bring both arms up above your head, doing a big full body stretch. As you breathe out, bring your right knee towards your chest. Hold that in front of your leg, pulling your thigh towards your rib cage. And flex and extend your foot, mobilizing your ankle, while you also stretch the back of the thighs, the back of your hips, and your lower back. Lower your right leg as you inhale, doing a full body stretch. And as you exhale, bring your left knee towards your chest. Hold it there and pull it. You always go as far as comfortable for your body, as far as you can breathe. Lower your left as you inhale, do a full body stretching. And as you breathe out, lift your right leg, hold it there at the back of the thigh or at the back of the leg. You might have your knee bent for this one. Then rotate your foot. 3 or 4 circles one direction, 3 or 4 circles in the other. Mobilize your ankle while you stretch at the back of the leg, thighs, hips and lower back. Then lower your right leg as you inhale, doing a full body stretch. And lift your left. And rotate your foot. Working on both directions. Then lower your left leg as you inhale. And a big full body stretch again. Bring both knees towards your chest. Hold in front of your legs and pull your thighs towards your ribcage. You can even lift the back of your hips and your lower back of the mat, round your back, and gently rock your body there, side to side. Gently massage your back while you stretch a little bit more. Your lower back, back of your hips. Then roll on your side or roll forward and sit up. Crossing your legs, but feel free to bring your legs forward if it's not comfortable with your legs crossed. You could also sit on a block, sit on a towel, sit a little high, even use a cushion to stay a little bit more comfortable if you need. So from there, lengthen your spine, lift your right arm, and do a lateral flexion of your spine. You're going to go all the way to the side there, open your rib cage, keeping your sitting bones on the floor. As you breathe in, lift, lengthen your spine, lift your left arm. So mobilizing your spine, lift again, back to your right arm, lift, and go. Always going as far as comfortable and as far as you have space there. Lift your left. Then body as tall as you can. From here, rotation of your spine. Going side to side. You can help with your hands, with your arms. You can also turn your head, looking towards the back. Then back in the center, lengthen your spine. Body as tall as you can and go to the other side. Back in the center and go. So your spine is designed to do lateral flexion, rotation, flexion, and extension. We're going to work with all those 4 movements, 6 directions there. Back in the center. So from here, flexion. You're going to go forward, flexing your spine, stretching the back of your hips, stretching your lower back, stretching your upper back. Then you lift. You're going to extend your spine. So you can try to lift your rib cage away from your hips, chest back, chin up, head back. If it's comfortable for ankles, knees and hips, you can also extend your hips. Push them forward. And back down and flex again. Going all the way forward. Then you lift and extend. And back down. From here you switch and go lateral flexion again. We're going to do a second round and try to go slightly deeper this time. If you have a leg forward instead of crossed, we just repeat. Try to go a little bit deeper. Lift your left and go. Back in the center. Every time you come back in the center, lengthen your spine. Spine as long as possible. Going as far as you can breathe. Last one. And back in the center. And rotation of your spine. Going there, side to side. Back in the center. And turn to the other side. Lengthen your spine, lift your chest, chin up. Back in the center. And go again. And in the center. Last one. Lift your rib cage, lift your chest. Use your arms to help you there to lengthen your spine. Bring the top of your head as far as you can. And then flexion, going forward, hips forward. Bottom of your rib cage forward, chest bone, head. Then you lift vertebra by vertebra and extend, open the front of your body. Going forward, up, lift, back, down. Then again, flexing, going all the way forward. And lift, extend. Push and then back. Always moving in a way that's comfortable for you. Don't need to move the same way and so all fours, hands under your shoulders and knees right under your hips. Cat cow dog combination. So cat pose. As you breathe out, you're gonna round your back. Gently pull your belly button in, chin down, tailbone down. As you breathe in cow pose, you're going to extend your spine, chin up, head is slightly back. Try to avoid folding the back of your neck. So breathe out, cat pose, breathe in, cow pose. And as I mentioned before, go with the breath. It feels natural, it feels comfortable. You might start breathing a little bit faster. So no need to move faster to catch up with the breath. Carry on there. The important is to breathe. Try to breathe deep and slowly. One more. Cow pose. From here, from cow pose into downward dog. Take your toes under. Push your hips back. Rib cage as close as you can to your thighs. You can do here a quarter, half, or a full downward dog. Then you bring your knees back down to the floor and cow pose again. And then you repeat. Back. If you're doing with the breath, breathe out. Downward dog. Breathe in. Cow pose. Downward dog. And cow pose one last time. Now we're gonna go into downward dog and hold. Option for the downward dog, if it's not comfortable for wrists, elbows, shoulders anymore, go into child's pose. You can go there. Sit back if you need at any point. From here, you can walk your feet. Slowly walk your feet towards your hands. Bend your knees if you need. Or you can walk your hands towards your feet. Or a little bit of both. Into the forward bend. In that position, you can have your hands on the floor, on your feet, on your legs, on your knees, on your thighs, or your arms there. Stretch the back of the legs, the back of the thighs, the back of your hips, lower back and upper back. There's also an inversion, like on the downward dog, increasing blood flow towards your head. And then lifting your spine vertebra by vertebra from your hips, hips in position, lower back, rib cage, neck, head. And you can lift your arms going all the way up into a mountain pose. Hands down. And bring your arms on the side of your body. Body as tall as you can here, and this kind of body rotation. We're going to do a sun salutation now. So you can move that towards the front of your mat. Just the idea is to raise your heart rate a little bit more. Move every single joint a little bit more. Warm up. So inhale, open the front and the back of your body on the sickness. Mountain pose, going all the way up. Lift your rib cage away from your hips. Chest bone back, chin is slightly up, head back, as far as comfortable, as far as you can. As you breathe out, in from your hips, going all the way forward into the forward bend. You can have, again, your hands on your hips, on your thighs, on your legs, or hands down to you. As you inhale, right leg back into a low lunge. So, moving your hips, try to move your hips forward and down. Stretching the back of your hips here on your left side, the front of your hips on your right. Your left hand might be here. I'm going to give all the options now in the first round of the sun salutation. So your left hand might be here, but if it's not comfortable, you can have your hand there on your knee, on your thigh, on the inside. From here, bring your left foot back into a plank position. If it's not comfortable, you can have your knees on the floor. If it's not comfortable, just lie on your front in a way that's comfortable for you on your chest. If you can, from here, we're going to go into 8-limb pose. Again, lie on your front if it's not comfortable. Try to keep your elbows in. You go slightly forward and lower yourself, bringing knees, chest, and chin down towards the floor. As you inhale, you can lift your chest. Hands on the floor, keeping your elbows in, chest forward and up into cobra. Option, forearms on the floor into Sphinx, or going all the way forward and up into the upward facing dog. So I'm giving you options there. Use the one that's comfortable, that you feel more comfortable. From here, pushing your hips back into downward dog or into child's pose. Try to move your ribcage as close as you can to your thighs. So you might be here on downward dog or into child's pose. Both stretching the back of your hips, your lower back, the back of your thighs. From here, bringing your right foot forward. Again, move in a way that's comfortable for you. So you bring your right foot forward. Option to kneel first. Help with that hand. Bring your foot down. And then you push your hips forward and down. Again, hands. Option there with your hands. From here, bring your left foot forward into forward bend. And then, this time, hinging from your hips. Lift from the top of your head. So head, neck, rib cage, lower back and hips going all the way up into the mountain pose. Hands down, front of your heart center. And now we go again. We're going to let the sequence flow a little bit more. Could be with your breath. So breathe in, mountain pose. Breathe out, forward bend. Breathe in, left leg now. Low lunge. Bring your right leg back into a slump. And lower knees, chest and chin towards the floor as you breathe out. The 8 limb pose. As you breathe in, lift your chest on the Sphinx, Cobra, upward facing dog. As you breathe out, push your hips back into downward dog or child's pose. Bring your left foot forward as you breathe in into low lunge. As you breathe out, right foot forward into forward bend. Hanging from your hips, lift from the top of your head, going all the way up into mountain pose. Bringing your hands there, your heart center. And we go again. Inhale, mountain pose. Forward bend. Right leg back, low lunge. Left leg back, lunge, staff pose. 8 limb pose, knees, chest and chin towards the floor. Lift your chest, Sphinx, Cobra, upward facing dog. Elbows in, push it back, down dog or child's pose. Right foot forward into low lunge. Left foot forward into forward bend. In from hips, all the way up into mountain pose. Hands in front. One more, one last round. Inhale, mountain pose. Forward bend, exhale. Left leg back, low lunge. Inhale. Right leg back. And knees, chest and chin towards. Lift your chest. Open the front of your body. Push your hips back. Stretch in the back. Left foot forward into low lunge. Right foot forward into forward bend. Hinge from hips. Lift there. Top of your head and going all the way up into mountain pose. Hands down. From the sun salutation into the asanas now. So we're going to start with the asanas from the sun salutation. So I'm going to hold this pose for a little bit longer. So as you inhale into the mountain pose, arms all the way up, open the front of your body. You're going to maintain the position and breathe there. A few breaths there. Think about lifting your rib cage away from your hips. Inhale, lengthen your spine. Chin is slightly up, head is slightly back. Shoulders, shoulder blades gently down and towards your spine. You might have your hands together, you might have your arms slightly apart. Breathe out. Again, feel free to come out of position and equal standing if that's not comfortable. Go stay there, going as far as you can breathe. From here, hanging from your hips. Option to have your hands down your hips, but you're going to stop halfway. So you're going into the forward bend, but you're going to stop halfway into the straight angle pose. Try to bring your spine parallel to the floor. You can have your hands on your knees, on your thighs. For more intensity, hands there in front of your chest. Or for a little bit more intensity, a lot more intensity, arms forward. So you strengthen and stretch muscles at the back of the thighs, back of the hips and lower back. Strengthen all those muscles along the spine. Muscles that maintain your back straight there. Stay there for as long as it's comfortable. 1 or 2 more breaths if you can. And then as you breathe out, you go forward and down into the forward bend. Again, we're staying here for a few breaths. You can have your hands towards the floor, in front of your leg, thigh, knees, or now you can even hold it at the back of the leg, at the back of the thigh. As you breathe out, you pull a little bit more, and you just maintain the position. Breathing deep and slowly. Try to use the breath that you're using at the beginning. Expanding your abdominals as much as you can, expanding your rib cage if it's possible. As you breathe out, just relax. From here, feel free to bend your knees to do that. You're bringing your right leg back into a kneeling low lunge. Hips forward and down. You can extend your right foot there and just maintain the position. We're going to do a few variations here. So stretching your hips, so the back of your hips, open in the front there, the right hip, and moving your spine a little bit more. You can stay here, but if you can, you're lifting your left arm. Try to maintain your legs, your hips, your thighs in the same position. You're lifting your left arm. Try to point that arm towards the ceiling. Open your chest, and if it's comfortable for your neck, looking towards your right hand, your left hand, sorry. Then 1 or 2 more breaths. From here, bring your left arm back down. Stay there in position. From a kneeling low lunge to the full low lunge as an option. So you can stay. Maintain your right knee on the floor. If it's comfortable, you tuck your toes under there on your right foot. And then extend your right leg. The options now for your back, you can do with your right knee off the mat or with your right knee on the mat. You can place your hands there on your knee, on your thigh, and lift your chest. Slightly different than the warrior. Still have your right heel off the mat. You're lifting your chest. For a little bit more intensity, you can either have your hands there on the side, in front of your chest, or you can bring them all the way up and lift your rib cage a little bit more. Again, you have the option to do that on your knee, kneeling low lunge, or the full low lunge. 1 or 2 more breaths. And bring your hands down on the floor again. From here, left foot back into that plank. You can have your knees on the floor, shoulder there, coming out from the side of the body. A few breaths, 3 or 4 breaths here. Strengthen a little bit more, triceps, shoulders, chest, abdominals, deep abdominals, hip flexors. And then you can lower yourself, knees, chest, and chin towards the floor. Option, if you cannot lower yourself, bring yourself down. So you have a long spine here. Imagine a spine like a spring, which you're going to load, you're going to shorten. So bringing your hips back up, try to keep your chin and your chest down on the floor. Working with those curves on your spine. Then bring yourself down, lengthen your spine. Extend your feet, bringing your hands there forward. And you're going to push your hands down as if you're trying to slide your hands back, as if you're trying to pull yourself forward. Lifting your chest and bringing your elbows in under your shoulders. Still pushing the front of your hips towards the floor. as if you're again trying to drive yourself, trying to pull yourself forward and up. That curve at the back of your neck should reflect the curve in the rest of your spine. So you avoid bending forward at the back of your neck. Instead, chin is slightly up and head back. Let the Sphinx extend your spine as much as you can. You're extending your feet, your legs, your thighs, and gently pushing the front of your hips towards the floor. Almost as if you're trying to lift your thighs off the floor. Feel free to bring your legs together if it's comfortable. Bring yourself down, lower yourself. From there, you can repeat the Sphinx again, or bring your hands slightly lower, almost in line there, your fingertips in line with your shoulders, elbows in, and similar to what you've done on the Sphinx, now pushing your hands. So extending your feet, your legs, your thighs, lifting your chest and gently pushing there with your hands. That's the Cobra, keeping your elbows in, front of your hips on the floor or towards the floor. Shoulders back and down. Stay there for as long as it's comfortable. Feel free to go down when you need a rest. The muscles on your back should be helping your arms. One more breath and go down. Lower your step. From here, from that position, you're going to move your hands further down. There, close to the bottom of your rib cage. Option to do the Sphinx or the Cobra again, but if you can, extend your feet, your legs, your thighs. Bring life into those legs. Then you lift your chest and you can fully extend your arms into the upward facing dog. Adjust your feet if you need. If it's not comfortable there in front of your feet, feel free to take your toes under. But you're also stretching there, front of your feet, front of your ankles. Shoulders back and down. You'll not only strengthen your triceps, your shoulders, your chest, but those muscles between your shoulder blades and at the back of your rib cage. 2 or 3 more breaths. Chin up, head slightly back. And then, placing your knees on the floor, bringing your hips all the way back into child's pose. We're still using all the poses, the asanas from the sun salutation. So child's pose, which was the option for the downward dog. The pose here is stretch your whole back, upper back, your lower back, release and relax your back, stretch the back of your hips, gently stretch the muscle at the back of the thighs and front as well. And if you can, you're massaging and stimulating internal organs as you bring your abdominals against your thighs, or rib cage against your thighs. If it's not comfortable with your legs parallel or together, bring them slightly apart, and it's okay to go forward there. From here, bring yourself forward, hands under your shoulders, take your toes under, either go back to the child's pose, or if you can, you're going to push your hips all the way back and up. So you're trying to use your arms, those muscles between your shoulder blades and at the back of your rib cage. And try to bring your rib cage as close as you can to your thighs. Try not to push your shoulders too far there towards your ears as well. Keep them back and down, shoulders, arms coming out from the side of your body. Your heels might not be touching the floor, that's okay. Just try to relax your feet, the back of the legs, ankles, and let your heels go. From here, bring your right foot forward. Again, feel free to kneel and help there to go forward instead of trying to launch your foot there. So right foot forward, you're on the low lunge again. We're going to do the same variations we've done on the other side. So the first one, you're going to lift your right arm, rotate your spine, point in your right hand, or try to move with intention. Intention to point that hand towards the ceiling, lifting your chest. And if it's comfortable for your neck, you're looking there towards your hand. You can bring here your right hand down towards the floor. You can stay kneeling or take your toes under on your left foot. Extend there. Remember, you're trying not to lift yourself there. Your hips are not going there. You're trying to just extend your left leg. You can stay here, or if it's comfortable for your knees, for your hips, for your back, you can lift your chest. You can maintain your hands there on your knees, on your thighs, or on the side, or in front, or you can lift all the way up. Opening a little bit more your hips on this one. Strengthen your thighs, leg, working with your balance. Strengthen posture muscles there on your back, on your abdominals, opening your chest. So 3 more breaths, or no more. Remember, you can do less. And then you're gonna lower your arms, hands down towards the floor. Kneel, and you're gonna bring your left foot forward into the forward bend. Again, feel free to, we're gonna stay here just a few breaths. Hold that back. You can even hug that if you want. That point. Always think about the stretch. Try to feel good and pause. Try to relax. Then from here, into the straight angle pose before you get into the mountain pose. So you're gonna lift the head, chest, and stop halfway. Hands can be on your knees, thighs, in front, or forward. One or two more breaths, and then go back down. Relax, stretch a little bit more, and then lift again, going all the way up into the mountain pose. And hands down. Next pose we're gonna use just a transition, and now we're gonna move to the floor. So inhale, mountain pose. Exhale, forward bend. Remember, stop and rest if you need. Bring both legs back. Bring knees, chest and chin towards the floor, elbows in. If you're still comfortable there for your arms, wrists, lift your chest on the Sphinx, Cobra, or upward facing dog, one of those 3 poses that we've done already. Push your hips back into downward dog or child's pose. If you're on downward dog, option to lift your right leg, single leg, downward dog. Try to extend that leg. Challenge some muscles on your back a little bit more. So you strengthen your triceps, your shoulders, stretching your back, stretching the back of the leg, thighs and hips. And from here, you're bringing your right knee forward. If you can, as much as comfortable, you're trying to bring that right leg in front. You might even be able to bring your leg there 90 degrees with your thigh. If it's not comfortable, You can try to sit here as if you're kneeling, kind of a half hero pose with your leg to the back. We're going to do the pigeon pose. On that position, try to have your hips square with your shoulders, in line with your shoulders. So you're trying to avoid this dropping back here. So you're trying to bring the front of your left hip towards the floor and the back of your right hip towards the floor as well. If it's not comfortable, you might be a little bit higher here. Feel free to have a cushion, a block under your hip on the other side, or even there in front as well. And as much as it's comfortable, you're going to lean forward. Try to bring your head towards the floor. You can try to bring your abdominals or rib cage against your right leg. And you can rest either head on the floor, fist, hands, or cushion, a block there. So you're stretching, open the front of your hips down your left side, stretching a little bit more the back of your hips on your right, stretching your back, breathing deep. And you can carry on there. Go back into child's pose if you need a rest. There's a variation here from the pigeon pose, more like king pigeon. Two options to try to maintain your legs and your thighs in the same position and lift your chest as much as you can. A third option here, so option 1, stay on the pigeon pose. 2, lift in your chest. 3, while you try to maintain your thigh, your hips in the same position as much as you can, you might come out of the position just to get your leg there. And then you try to come back. You can hold your left foot and try to pull it. You can hold with your hand. Some of you might be able to hold there. So hug with your arm. So put it around and lift. And try to have again, shoulders in line, square there with your hips. So without rotating, try to keep the chest facing forward still. You might be able to lift your chest a little bit more than I can lift here. Stretching a little bit more in front of your thigh on your left side. Mobilizing your spine a little bit more. A few more breaths. Then you can release. Gently release that leg. So gently let it go and push yourself back. Either on child's pose or downward dog again. And you're going to work on the other side this time. So you can stay here or child's pose. If you lift your right leg before, now time to lift your left. Let's work a little bit more with those muscles back of your hips, with your glutes, with your lower back as well. One or two more breaths, and then you bring your left knee forward. And lower your hips. Again, if you have your hips up there, if you want a little rest, feel free to place a cushion or something underneath. And lower your chest. Stay there for as long as it's comfortable only, especially for your knees. Back, hips, especially for your knees. Then from here, option to lift your chest, or option to lift your chest and get home, of your right foot. Gently pull. You can keep holding there with your hand. Or you could even wrap your arm around. Some people can even hold with both hands there. Feel free to do that if you can. So 3 more breaths. And you can let it go. Gently let it go. Don't let it move like a spring. Gently let it go. And push back into child's pose. Rest a little bit. From here, you can stay on the child's pose to do that. The only thing you have to do is to bring your feet slightly apart and push yourself back. Or go back into the downward dog and move your feet there slightly wider than your hips. It might be the width of your mat, might be a little bit less, a little bit more. You're going to squat from here. So you're going to bring your hands, walk your hands towards your feet and lower your hips. You're trying to maintain your heels down on the floor. Open your hips. So stretching the inner thighs, deep muscles down your hips. You can maintain your hands on the floor. You might not have your heels on the floor, you might have your heels off the mat, that's okay. As long as you try to relax and bring them down, open your hips. Arms on the inside of your thighs. Bring your hands together and gently try to lift your chest and lengthen your spine. I'm going to move your camera. I'm going to move you a little bit closer. That's it. And again, stay there for as long as it's comfortable for your knees on. You're trying to lift your chest. You might have your back round, but the intention is to lift there. You're stretching muscles at the back of your legs, the back of your thighs, at the back of your hips, on your lower back. Stretching in the thighs, open your hips, increasing blood flow towards the internal organs as you gently restrict the circulation of the blood flow towards your thighs, towards your legs. It's quite a lot of blood going there. And then from here, again, moving in a way that's comfortable for you. You can just place your hands on the floor and you will then move. If you can, you're going to bring your hands there, back, and sit down. Bring your legs forward, then shake them a little bit. And let the blood flow back to your legs. Bringing your legs together, if it's comfortable. Can be legs slightly apart. Try to sit on your sitting bones and lift your arms. You're going to lengthen your spine. Bring your hands as high as you can. Bring your head, your spine together with your hands. Reach there as far as you can. And then hinge from your hips. Lower back, upper back, neck and head. As if you're bringing your head towards your feet. You can try to bring your toes towards the top of your head. If you have a towel there, an elastic band and strap, feel free to use and hold it there. Or you can hold at the back of the thighs, at the back of your legs. Try to breathe deep and slow. Expanding your abdomen, expanding your rib cage as you breathe in. As you breathe out, try to relax, go deeper. Or just maintain a position and then that stretch, the taste fade away. Few more breaths, and then you can relax. Lift, bring yourself all the way back. Hands there at the back. If it's comfortable for your wrists, for your elbows, for your shoulders, you can try just to counterbalance the seated forward bend. If it's not, just hold here, lift your chest, lift your ribcage. Chin up, head slightly back. If it's comfortable, try to lift your hips and go all the way forward and up. Kind of a reverse plank. Then lower. Right leg forward. And you're going to bring your left foot on the side of your thigh. If you can, at the top of your thigh, as much as you can. So, could be there, if that's your maximum, as long as it's comfortable for your knee. Going all the way up, if you can. Option to go in midline there between both thighs. But if you can, pose is called head to knee pose. So you're going to lengthen your spine and go forward, all the way forward. So you can hold at the back of the thigh, leg, foot, bringing your head towards your knee. Towards. If you get there, you might be here. That's okay. Stretching a little bit more those muscles at the back of the legs, the whole posterior chain. Back of the legs, thighs, hips, lower back, upper back. From here, lift, lengthen your spine again. Relax a little bit. Can bring your right hand forward towards your right foot. And then bringing your left shoulder back. Imagine you have your whole back there against the imaginary wall. And you're lifting your left arm and you're trying to reach towards your right foot with your left hand. So you might stop here. It's okay, you go as far as possible. Remember, the objective is go for the stretch, not for the pose, but for the stretch. So if you then try to go as deep as you can, but without bringing that left shoulder forward. Keep that left shoulder back in a way that, let's say, if you turn your head and look towards the ceiling, you would be looking from under your arm. Try to keep your sitting bones on the floor. Intention. And then you come back. All the way up. And relax. Bring both legs forward. Shake a little bit. Bring your right heel against your thigh. Lift. Lengthen. And go forward. Hips. Lower back, upper back, head. So try to rest there, relax there. One or two more breaths. Then you lift. You can lengthen your spine. Bring your left hand towards your left foot. Bring your right arm back and over, reaching towards your left foot. rotation. Remember, try to look towards the ceiling. You would be looking from under your arm, not over, but from under. Try to keep that right shoulder back to maintain rotation. 2 more breaths. As you breathe in, expand. Try to expand your ribcage, abdominal ribcage. Then bring yourself back up and in line. Bring both legs forward. Shake a little bit. Move in a way that's comfortable. And lie on your back. So you can roll back or roll on your side and lie on your back. Bend your knees. Counterbalance the flexion again. Try to bring your heels under your knees. Heels sitting bones apart or cheekbones apart. Arms by the side of your body, shoulders away from your neck. You can get in position in the pose and out. Or if you can, you're going to get in position and hold. So you're lifting your spine there, vertebra by vertebra off the mat. You're lifting your hips as high as you can. You're lifting your rib cage as if you're bringing your chest bone towards your chin. If you can, as much as comfortable, you can bring your hands together, interlock your fingers, extend your arms. Imagine you're trying to move your hands all the way there between your feet and push your arms against the floor to help you to extend your spine and lift your rib cage and lift your hips a little bit more. Try to do it in a way that you have your heels under your knees. Not forward there, not all the way back here, but more or less under your knees, more or less. And maintain position. Strengthen muscles from the back of your arms, back of your shoulders, and between your shoulder blades, at the back of your rib cage. Lower back, back of your hips, your glutes, back of your thighs. Breathe there. Strengthen your whole back, the whole posterior chain. One or two more breaths. Then you're going to lower yourself vertebra by vertebra. Bring both knees towards your chest. You can gently rock your body side to side. You can stay here, or option to get into the happy baby pose. Knees apart. Reach towards your feet, can be on the side, can be in front, wherever is comfortable there. And you're going to lift your feet. Imagine you're placing your feet against the ceiling. And you're trying to pull your legs, your thighs down, as if you're trying to bring your knees on the side of your rib cage, or towards your shoulders, or towards the floor. And again, you can gently rock side to side if it's comfortable, but just hold that position. Open your hips, stretch on the back of your hips, the back of your thighs, a little bit more. Then you can relax. Bringing your feet on the floor. Arms out. And you're taking both legs on the other to one side. It could be a right on your left. Let's say if you take both legs to your left, if it's comfortable for your neck, you can try to turn your head to the right, the opposite side. So you're stretching chest, shoulder, muscles around your rib cage, abdominal, back. If it's comfortable, you can stretch a little bit more the back of your hips, thighs and legs. By bringing the top leg towards the opposite head and hold there. 2 more breaths. And if you have your leg there, let it go. Bring your legs back in the center. And take both legs to the other side. Turn your head if it's comfortable for your neck. And if it's comfortable, holding there, extending the other leg as well. From here, release. Bring your legs back in the center. You're down on your mat. Bringing your arms all the way up and over, doing a big full body stretch as you're breathing. And as you breathe out, you can bring your arms there by the side of your body. Just a minute, a few seconds there, where you focus on your breath. And relax your feet, your legs, can let them go down. Relax your thighs, your hips. Breathe deep and slow, then relax your abdominals, your back, your chest. Relax your shoulders, your neck, your arms, hands, fingers. Relax the muscles around your face. Scan your body from head to toes, from toes to head. And release any tension as you breathe out. One or two more breaths. You can gently move your toes, your fingers, your hands, your feet. You can bend your knees. You can roll on your side. Stay there for a little bit. When you're ready, sit up. Wait for the blood, for the circulation to come back to normal.